Thank you to MSI for sending us here to Computex this year, and also thank you to lynda.com. First up at Zotac, we have a new ZBOX, mainly designed behind their Steam machine that we actually saw at PAX East, but now with more customizability in mind. With the Steam machine, it was all one package. This one is customizable. Also, instead of the white and silver design of the old Steam machine ZBOX, well, old is a kind of weird name because it's not even out yet, it is now an all blackout design. Also, something to note, that LED ring around the power button on the front can actually be turned off in the BIOS just in case you don't want that light there. Also, it's called an EN970 for now, but it'll have a better name going in the future, so I'm not entirely sure what it will be called. The Pro model will have 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigabyte SSD inside of it, but the more bare bones version will have two 2.5-inch drive slots, two laptop style SODIMM memory DDR3 slots, one M.2 slot. It will come with an i5 Broadwell 5200U processor, an NVIDIA 970M with 3 gigabytes of DDR5, and enough cooling to hopefully keep it from throttling. In terms of I/O, on the front we have an SD card reader, a microphone jack, a headphone jack, and 2 USB 3.0 ports. On the back you have a Wi-Fi antenna, 4 HDMI 2.0 ports, 2 gigabit Ethernet ports, 2 USB 3.0 ports, and 2 USB 2.0 ports, plus the power plug. Then we get to graphics cards. They have 4 different versions of the 980 Ti, and I know that's a lot, but we'll go fairly quickly, don't you worry about it. The first one is the 980 Ti Amp, just their standard edition. This is only $10 more than the reference card, so a pretty good deal for a triple fan cooler. It's the same cooler that we've seen in the past, so I won't spend too much time on that, but the backplate on here is a wraparound, so it looks kind of cool, and the 980 Ti doesn't have a backplate by reference, so that's actually pretty nice. The Amp Omega Edition is the same kind of overall cooler, no major differences other than the fact that it's 2.5 slots and the fans have dual blades on them. Last but not least of the more standard air coolers is the Amp Extreme, which has more or less the same cooler as the Amp Omega, but it has lights on the front and lights on the top. And then in terms of overclocking, it's a friggin' beast. Its base core clock is 1253 with a boost clock of 1355 and a memory clock of 7210. And then we get to the Arctic Storm, which is probably just as cool as it sounds. It has the same wraparound backplate as the previous ones, but now it has a kind of cool Arctic-y styled Art Deco on it. It's really, really heavy due to the fact that it's a water-cooled or air-cooled card, and therefore comes with a support bracket, which is not currently shown as they don't have it here. But it'll enable you to screw it onto the end of the card and then fix it to either the bottom or top of your case to help support it, as again, it's a really heavy card and you don't want it to droop and potentially crack. Now the Arctic Storm doesn't have much of an overclock on it by default. Now you might have expected more in this realm, but they're expecting you to want to overclock this card yourself, as it's kind of like a water-cooled hybrid card thingy. I don't really necessarily blame them for that. Alright guys, let me know what you think about things in general. I know I covered like 5 things at this booth, so just let me know what you think about stuff in the comments down below or on Twitter at Luke_LAFR. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, share, favorite, like, dislike, any of those things. Just do all of them, although like and dislike is a variable, so pick one. Also, thank you to MSI for sending us here this year. We would not be at Computex 2015 without them, so they were a huge help. In the link in the video description down below, that's the bit.ly link, you can see all the products that they launched at Computex this year, including Broadwell-enabled laptops. Also, thank you to lynda.com, lynda.com/Computex. If you go there, you can get a 10-day free trial and start learning right now.